to the EQ Video Tip. I'm your host, Eric Forsetter, and as always, we're glad to have you back for another great edition of the EQ Video Tip. Before we get started, let's jump into the goals of EQ Video Tip. What's on tap for this week? Well, we have got a great show. It comes to us from Tracy Brower, and she's going to talk to us about how managers actually have a mental impact on your well-being as well as your overall mental health. Tracy talks about several tips as well to help you as a manager, to help your team, and to help everyone's overall well-being. What's important to recognize is that when you're a manager, you may or may not realize this, but your overall attitude, your actions, as well as your words impact the mental health and well-being of your team. And of course, when they do that, it impacts the performance of that team as well, and retention, of course, which we want to keep those great employees on our staff. So let's jump into some of the tips that Tracy has for us. Tip number one, manage yourself. Now, it sounds funny because we're managing everybody else, but you actually have to manage yourself. People watch the leader and they decide to follow his or her actions. If you're stressed out, you're overworking yourself, people are going to tend to follow that suit because, as they say in sports, relaxed coach, relaxed team. Stressed out team, or stressed out coach, I should say, stressed out team. So everybody's nervous, they're following the example of the leader. The leader is nervous, everybody else is going to be nervous. Make sure you're setting a good example. I take breaks, I enjoy my vacation. When it's the weekend, I'm not emailing everybody, slacking them all the time, because you have to manage yourself as well as your team. And if you're managing yourself well, then people will understand that you're setting the tone for the rest of the team. Tip number two, give people a reason to care, because when people have a reason to care, they have a why. And Angela Duckworth talks about having a why. When you have your why, you care about the product that you're putting out or the performance that you're doing, whatever it might be. And in doing so, people feel connected to the company, connected to their work, connected to their customers, and they understand their role and responsibilities and why they want to do it. So give people a reason to care about what they're doing and what the impact means for any part of the company as well as to the customers. Tip number three, connect people. It's so important to connect with people, not only on the work level, but also on their personal level. Make sure you're asking how they're doing, understand what's going on in their lives, and most importantly, be available and be there when they need them, when they need you, I should say. So if someone reaches out and you're a leader, make sure you get back to them same day, or you text them or Slack them, or let them know that you care and you're going to be there and be available to get that answer or that problem resolved for them. It's important that they feel connected not only to the company, but to you and to the whole team as well. Setting up things for them to interact with other members of the team is so important as well. Make sure you're connecting them to the company and yourself. Our next tip, provide challenges. People are looking for motivation and they do want to work hard. Believe it or not, some people get stressed out when they don't have enough work. Now, you need to find the balance between too much work and too little work, but it's important to understand what people's challenges are. This goes back to our last tip, connecting with someone. Understand what motivates them, what challenges them, and where they're trying to grow, and give them opportunities to overcome challenges or find challenging work that is going to stimulate them and want them to stay and work harder as well. By providing them different opportunities and giving them that career growth, you're challenging them, stimulating them, and overall taking care of their mental well-being without stressing them out. Our last tip, give people choice. And when you give people choice, whether it's flexibility as to where they work or when they work, or what projects they work on or how they handle those projects, it empowers them. People who feel empowered are more likely to stay. They feel like they have control in the situation, they're helping out, they're doing what it needs to be done, and by giving that flexibility within one's career as well as job, it empowers them overall to make the right choices for the customer and for the company as well. Think about how you can empower your team as well as your individuals within that team as you're going through and working with someone. When you talk to them and connect with them, ask what styles they like, when they want help, when they want autonomy, and give them that information whenever you're working with them as well. In doing so, you'll empower them more, you'll make them happier, and promote their mental health and well-being overall. That's our for this week's EQ video tip. Thanks again to Michelle for some great tips. And as always, take these tips, customize them, make them yours in your daily life. We hope you enjoyed them. Come back next time. So that concludes our EQ video tip for today. Try incorporating some of these tips into your daily routine. But remember, use what works best for you and personalize it for yourself. Thank you always to our great research team for providing us with some great tips today. As always on EQ video tip, we want to end with gratitude. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Here are some resources that you can use if you want more information on EQ going forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.